Welcome back to the Jacksonville Buzz. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Donna Guzzo from the First Coast Cultural Center. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. You know, it's been a minute since I've seen you, at least a week. And the last time we got together, you did a little charity event for this wonderful cultural and art thing that you have going on in the North Florida area.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about who you are for those that may not have heard.
Okay, so I'm Donna Guzzo, Executive Director and President of the First Coast Cultural Center. And we bring the arts into the life of the community. So the little event that we did is almost raising $100,000. And it's the Beaches, a celebration of the arts. It's a signature event.
Little event. Just
little event.
One night,
yes.
$100,000, no big deal, right? So one of the unique things that I've known you for a while that we've talked about is the correlation of art and culture to societal growth. And for those that may not be in the Jacksonville area that are watching this, we've had a lot of economic activity as far as buildings and people and companies coming to the city as we kind of grow into that 21st century city in the northern Florida area. Mm-hmm. How does art combine itself with economic development for people when they come here?
Well, sure. Well, arts is vital to a vibrant community. So we'll start with that. Everybody loves art. This data that arts help kids.
Right.
So we start them young. We are in after-school programs for Kickstart, after-school art enrichment. We bring the arts with music therapy for children with disabilities also to the schools so the parents don't have to transport their children. And we do a lot out in the community. We have pop-up exhibits all the time. In fact, tonight there's an opening one. And tonight we're featuring Charlotte Chastain, who will be here soon for another interview. So awesome. I want people to know, to look for that. But those are ongoing pop-up exhibits. And they're pop-up because I don't have a building per se with galleries. Mm-hmm. So we do the pop-up for 2-3 days. People in the community are able to come into the studio and see them. And then we go right to the next exhibit. So it's ongoing. It's constant.
So when you do the pop-ups, how do people find out where they're at?
Well, they go to firstcoastculturalcenter.org and click on the exhibit tab.
And they'll have a whole little thing.
Yes.
So when we talk about art, right, I've been to a few of the exhibits, a couple of them, one in particular, with my son who is now 13. I think he was probably 5 or 6 when we did this. But most people, when they think about art, right, they think about painting, wall, that's it, right? And it's like, okay, great, I'm looking at this. Now, of course, that is art. But some of the things you guys do, it is wildly different than what people would think.
I'm always looking for something unique. And what you were describing, the Stevie came and experience, was the music exhibition from Spain, a world premiere here in our own backyard in Ponte Vedra Beach at the First Coast Cultural Center. And it was the Loving Beethoven exhibit where the spheres that you touched, depending on where you touched them, they were interactive, you will feel how Beethoven wrote the music, whether it was low notes, high notes. So those type of exhibits is what I'm looking for as a once a year, really pop this. And this year I have a surprise for the fall. I'm bringing an exhibit from Portugal.
Oh, wow. So not to take anything away from Mr. Van Gogh. I mean, obviously in the field, great. But it's just interesting that when people think of art, what they think of. And the Beethoven one was, very memorable to me because, of course, I've played piano since I was a kid. And Beethoven was deaf. And everybody's like, well, how did he create music? Mm-hmm. And how does it sound so good?
Right.
And just for the audience, that you had these globes that were filled with air that had to be 10 feet in diameter, that changed colors and vibrated based off of the notes that were playing. So if you were to hold on to that, you could actually experience, not through the eyes, but through the ears and the sounds and the feeling of how a very important person in music and art who changed the way that symphonies are done was able to create.
Right. We were able to experience exactly what he experienced.
It was really cool. It was really interesting because you don't, you think about, okay, well, Beethoven deaf, whatever, somehow he's got to make it, but you're able to see that. Right. So you have these artists that come into town. Some of them stay, some of them are just traveling through, and people come and check it out. They go to your website and they take a look at it. One of the things I just find absolutely amazing about what you're trying to do for the community is oftentimes people that are in business, they focus on business. But in order for a community to be thrive as a community, well, you just can't be out there making widgets. You got to have the balance.
Right.
So if businesses want to find out, there's some businesses that are in town, some local folks that were at the event that we had together. If they want to be able to contribute to you, or if folks want to find out if they do, corporate events, or if they have a pop-up at their facility, that's very cool right now. A lot of businesses are doing that. How do people connect with you? How do they find out more about the organization, where your artists are going to be, and or how can they contribute to your platform?
Absolutely. They can go to firstcoastculturalcenter.org or call 904-280-0614, extension 1206. We have wonderful programs. Improv is big for a lot of organizations, people that are going to interviews right now. Improv theater, commercials, all of that. We're doing that. We have hired a former Disney coach that's offering these theater classes, and it's going amazing. We're already sold out for the summer. So, those kind of programming is what a lot of the corporations are looking for.
Gotcha. And so they can connect with you, your team, whether the website or the phone, and find out how they can participate, whether it's in a showing and or contributions, whether in time, treasure, or talent.
Absolutely. We have a donate button right there, firstcoastculturalcenter.org.
The largest button in the middle of the page. Click. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to having Charlotte on next week to learn about her art. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Guys, thanks for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us, and remember, live with gratitude.